I would rather people believe that I would never do such a thing when I'm alone. That benefits me. I would much rather, much rather, um, not be the first person people look at, if that makes sense. So
You don't want to be like just when you're out on your own looked at as like you could be a possible threat. Is that what you're trying to kind
exactly,
of say? Okay.
exactly. What am I? I don't want to sound. I'm trying really, really hard not to sound like a condescending bitch right now. I really am. I don't like to be stupid. I don't like to be belligerent. I don't like to be. My hesitation about doing things is not about doing the thing itself. It's not about morality as far as I think I'm better than anyone or anything like that. It is about knowing who I am allying with and knowing there's a fucking plan and knowing that kind of what we talked about before, there is an interest to keep each other safe in a smart way. Truth be told, we don't. I know Eve, I know John mostly, but we don't know each other. You know, I haven't been awake much,
Yeah.
but for me, it's not so much. There wasn't a hesitation there. I want you all to know that because I think I'm walking some high ground and you all are disgusting criminal filth or anything even remotely fucking close to that. It is more about I don't want to sit here and say I have fucking trust issues, but I just like to know that there is a vision, there is a plan, and it's not just. And I'm not saying I need to be clued into everything. I don't fucking deserve that yet. I don't deserve your trust. I don't deserve anything yet. But just wanting no long term goal in mind, chaos, that's not what I want to be a part of.
I think that's fair.
Just robbing people for the sake of robbing people, just doing shit for the sake of doing it. I don't know that's in my heart of hearts, but doing it with a goal in mind or a plan or something, that's reassuring to me because that means I'm not just following someone's emotions, someone's, I don't know, whims, I guess. And that's my hesitation. It's just getting to know each other. And I mean, Eve speaks so highly of all of you. I trust her opinion. I think it's just spending time, and I'm not sitting here trying to say, oh, you need to convince me of anything. You guys are who you are. You don't need to apologize for that. You don't need to fucking, you know, prove yourselves to me. I don't want it to come across that way. It's just getting to know each other. And I guess that's why I hesitate to say, yeah, I'll go do all this stuff with you because we don't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only hesitation I have. I don't want you guys to think it's anything to do with me thinking I am on some righteous path and you all are pieces of shit or anything like that.
I don't think any of us ever had that in mind. I know we've had people who have been part of our family that did not partake in the criminal side. So there's room for that. Um, and we never look down on them. That's just who they is, and they have their own things that they can help contribute. Like Audrey, we don't want to put her in a position where she's uncomfortable and is potentially at in danger. And so like her role is basically kind of like she's kind of our, I guess you could say, like our cook. Like she makes a lot of stews and stuff and helps provide in that way. And we at some point hopefully we'll be able to get up off our feet because we haven't really even gotten started yet. Um,
Yeah.
but like our first step is going to be trying to help arm ourselves a bit, and that's for me. And it's just speaking for me because Ethan and I haven't really talked about it, but we need to have like some backup stores of weapons because once you get arrested, they take your shit off you and it's gone. So you need something that you don't have to keep going to the store and buying and buying and buying or being stuck and then you're in a bad way. So
God,
that's my
yeah.
first step is wanting to have some kind of stores of weapons and stuff as backup for us.
And the other thing to kind of extend off of what Roz said on Audrey is that if she chose to do the things that we do, then that's on her. That's her decision. And, we'll try to take it from there. We're not going to, like Roz said, we're not going to force her into doing anything that she didn't want to do.
I fell into this life when I was a kid out of necessity because I bounced from foster home to foster home. Sorry, not foster home. What the fuck am I even saying?
Orphanage.
Orphanage. Thank you. Anyway, I bounced from orphanage to orphanage, not because I had to move, but I would fucking get out of there because the people, the kids who were in there, especially the boys, were a huge danger to me, we'll just say. And they had taken advantage of me way too many times. So I'd escape and I'd run and go to another state. And that's how I spent my childhood after 9 years old. And I just learned to try and fucking survive any way I could. And that was by stealing. And that's how I learned how to hunt and be a good shot, is because I had to fucking feed myself. I didn't have nobody.
That makes sense. It was out of survival.
Mm-hmm. And now it's what I know. It's just who I am. Now, my mama, she's rolling in her grave seeing who I turned out to be. But I'm still on this side of the dirt, at least.
I do believe there's a large part of us that we are who we are when we're born, but there's a lot that shapes us. A lot of unfair shit that gets dealt to us at ages we have no fucking control, like you said. There's nothing to regret there, and you did what you had to do, it sounds like. I mean, as a blonde idiot that's coming from this from the outside, so take that as you will. But
Don't call yourself an idiot.
that's the first step to being smart, though, realizing you don't know shit about fuck.
I understand that, but if you openly say that you're an idiot, everybody else is going to think it too.
This path often brings people with different upbringings together. Because every single one of us has had something happen in our life that helped forge who we are in this moment. The biggest thing that I've found in my life is getting myself comfortable with that reality, accepting who I have become, as opposed to dwelling upon what I hadn't. That makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
This is the only life I have ever known. And when I sit and I do farm work or do a job for somebody or anything of those lines, along those lines rather, just, I feel like I have, what's the word I'm thinking of, babe?
I don't know.
I just, it's a different, it's not a quiet or a calm that I'm used to. You know what I mean? It's not something that I have control over. It's not where my roots are settled. And it's all shit that I learned from the moment I was born and throughout today. And it's a hard life. It is not an easy one. It never will be. As I've said many times to I know Roslyn and Amber have heard this several times at this point, but our world and our way of life is challenged every single day. Our culture, the way we live, and what we have to do to survive, it's narrower and narrower every single day because the world advances around you and you have no say in what the fuck that is or what your part in that is. You have to fight and scrape and kick and claw every fucking step of the way because the world would very much like to see people like me ridded of. Because I upset the balance and the order that people try to push upon others with laws and regulations, this, that, and the other. The impending infringement upon the belief that I have in this world and how I want to live in it.
Yeah. My story is I tried to do good. I tried to do right. It backfired on me. And Ethan and Roz were there to basically pick up the pieces. And I swore my loyalty to them. I wasn't born and raised. I wasn't in Roz's situation. I actually tried to do right in this fucking world. And I got shit on by people that I thought were friends of mine, thought that I was close to. And I couldn't deal with it anymore. I won't give specifics because it's just too disheartening for me to continue it, but that's the gist of it.
That's understandable. I think it is a hard learned lesson to realize that the ones you love the most will still disappoint you. And has nothing to do with their love for you or how much they care about you. The people you love and the people that love you the most will always disappoint you. And I'm not saying that in a morbid way where it's cutting ties or anything. It's just a truth. And sometimes it makes you love them even more.
The bond that this life gives you or offers you, if you become accepting of it, of course, is that every day, well, it's just never guaranteed. You know, you learn to lean on those around you in such a different way. Because there'll be times where, I mean, all of us that have been a part of this life, we've loved people, we've considered them family, we've done everything we could for them, and to see them being put down for, any variety of circumstance that presents itself, it's a very real fact in this world. And that's, I think, what helps keep, at least speaking for me at least, that's what makes me feel level and whole in my own, is the company that I keep. And how important and crucial they are to me. Not just because they exist and I think they're funny or whatever, it's because I know that if shit goes south, I am not alone. I will never be alone. And that person will put themselves above me in a heartbeat, and I will do the same for them without question.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman over here, she saved my fucking life. Like I've said before, it taught me everything I know about what a family means and what love is, what the word, not just the letters itself, but the fucking spirit within them. That she could settle in her own debts in her own head, in her own mind, at her own time, that she could find love for somebody like me that personally I don't feel like I deserve it. And she's taught me otherwise. Even if she's angry with me, I still know she loves the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm. That's how it should be.
Hmm. And Amber coming up the way she did, she didn't have to be in this world. She didn't have to be in this life. She chose to be here because she saw the value that it represented to her and the value that we represented to one another. And she made that conscious decision to be a part of that. And I'm goddamn thankful she did. Cult women are the strongest fucking women I've ever met. Every fucking one of them. That is a person that I would never want to cross if I were on the opposite. Because they will teach you how to be humble real quick.
I think there's a part of me that looks back on my childhood, and I won't go into details, but put bluntly, I did not have the difficult childhood that many of you, and I'm sure other cults, have experienced. That you've shared tonight and everything. I have not. I was very fucking lucky, and I am so grateful for that in so many ways. But when I thought I could strike out on my own, when I wanted to see the world, when I wanted bigger things, that's when reality kicked my ass. I won't go into the details. Like you said, Amber, is a tragic sob story, one after the fucking other. I don't need to bring the energy down here, but once I got into the real world where I wasn't sheltered and my opinion as a woman wasn't mattered or wasn't valued so much, in every fucking corner of the estate I grew up on, I learned very quickly, and I trusted blindly and learned that lesson too several times actually. I'm kind of stubborn. I don't know if you guys have picked up
Yeah,
on
we've
that.
noticed that.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
You're not alone, so don't worry.
Speaking of cult women.
Yeah.
That's a trait.
Great. I'm gonna fit in perfectly. Just another stubborn pain in the ass. But I grew up fucking quick, is just how I'll put all of that. And to your point, it's easy to slip into that, to see the other side of the coin. There's a sort of virtue and lawlessness that I've come to really cherish in owning one's future, and that ownership gives me power and autonomy, and I will never let that go, and I will never let anyone take that from me ever again.
Good.
And that is what is appealing to me in this lifestyle, and enabling that and empowering that in the women here, in the men, in everyone who is a part of this family. That gives me purpose in life. These days, it's not really about me. It's about the people around me, like you said, Ethan. That's what gives me meaning.
Yeah.
And that woman sleeping in that house in there, as I said, I would do absolutely anything for her. And as we talked about in Annisburg, that profound trust to do something like Dallas said. I would love for that relationship to happen here with this family. I really would. And I want to say that. And I want you all to know that, I guess.
We'll hang around, see it for yourself, get that understanding or that perspective. That's easy.
That's why I'd call it a family, not a gang. And also, Audrey is kind of in the same similar boat as you, as in she is still part of this family. She was from the city that we know of, and she actually ended up marrying Ethan's oldest brother's son. And she didn't know the first thing about this type of stuff either. She still kind of doesn't, but she's learning.
At her own pace and under what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm. I will say my skills to Roz and I were talking about this. Or can I call you Roz? I don't want to assume I can
Yeah.
call you Roz.
You
Okay,
can
all
call
right.
me
I
Roz.
just Jesus Christ. Just want to make sure I'm not overstepping here.
You're fine.
What we were talking about earlier, where she was asking what kind of took up my skills in the past and what I preoccupied myself with is, being a florist. That was one thing, but I am a writer. I work with businesses in promotional ways. I've worked with marketing campaigns and writing opinions in newspapers and interviewing people that need their story told. And it's been incredible empowering those people in that way as well. But I guess just to give perspective on that learning, like you said, Amber, as far as my life on the other side of the tracks, there's the goody goody, and then there is the, what am I trying to say? I guess my type of lawlessness is more with the books and the business side of things, so to speak, as opposed to robbing someone on the street. I rob them and they don't know they're being robbed, if that makes sense. Or I play a very large game of chess very well when it comes to politics, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to, and I'm not saying swindling good people out of money, hardworking people. I never did anything like that. But just playing the game, that is what I am good at. As far as pointing a gun in someone's face, I can learn, I can do it. Like you said, it's just going to take some time to get used to that side of it. But the piece of shit that's taking advantage of someone in a business or profiting unfairly from something, I will gladly bring those people to their knees. Not to sound like some fucking Robin Hood.
I think I get what you mean. You don't like seeing the big companies like in Saint Denis trying to take care or take their share from the little people.
Essentially. And uh, yeah, just like I said, playing the chess game and living outside of the law in that way to correct those assholes is something I delight in. I don't know if any of that makes sense.
I get you.
I'm not saying I'm some fucking brainiac, but
We all have our own wits. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, on a different note, uh, Roz, Ethan is all patched up. His wound was a little bit red, but that's because I hadn't cleaned it prior because we were out in the rain, so
Mm-hmm.
on and so forth. So tonight, or in the next time you two wake up, could you take a look at them, please?
Of course. Anything special I need to do?
Uh, if it's still red,
Yes.
I mean, I put the sap over it.
I'm not kissing this app. That's gross.
Oh, that's right.
If it's still red, try to just clean around the area of the sap. Don't try to get the sap off because that might like make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see how I
It's,
could.
it's all stitched up and stuff, though, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing was hit, no bones, no veins, no muscles, no nothing like that. So just, I don't know. Make sure that his dressings are changed just in case.
Yep.
That's
Do
about
that.
it. If it's still red, we're gonna have to wait a couple days to see if it's still red or not.
I'll keep a close eye on it. Don't worry.
Well, that sap should probably wear off in those few days, but
All right.
I Ethan, no offense, I trust Roz to do something like that more than you.
Same.
I have had to help take care of more than my fair of gunshot
you have.
wounds.
Oh, I know. I did make mention that you weren't in there to hold his hand, though.
He probably would have broke my hand. Did he cry? Nah, he wouldn't have cried. He just belly ached.
I did good.
Yeah, you did. You didn't make a noise. You just sat there sternly staring at me, making sure that I was doing a fucking good job.
I made all kind of fucking noise. That shit hurt so goddamn
that
bad.
night wasn't so great for you because of this, that, and the other, but especially the other. But I ain't never heard you make sounds like that before.
It fucking hurt. She had to dig the goddamn thing out.
No, I think it
Yeah.
all came when you started swallowing that man's
And I had
brain
to-
tissue. So
Oh, I forgot about
Did
that.
you? I'm sorry.
I was gonna
did.
mention it, but I thought, no, I'm just gonna wait.
yeah.
So, okay. This
Okay.
is not my finest moment. There was a guy in Rhodes who was playing his fucking jaw harp, and I asked him kindly to shut the fuck up, and he didn't. So then I got my rope out just to take his feet out from under him, and he decided to draw on me.
Oh
So,
my god.
yep. And then I hopped off my horse real quick, and it just all happened so fast. I just shoved him real quick because he was like right next to me. And the next thing I knew, I had my gun in my hand and I shot straight up through his fucking chin. And I had brains all over me. And
Oh
then
my god.
Ethan, when we came back here to fix me up, Ethan was holding my hand. And so he got some of it on his gloves. And then he grabbed this like piece of leather. Where did you even get that leather, by the way? You know what? I'm not sure I want to know anyway.
Yeah, you
He
don't
shoved it in between my teeth so that I wouldn't like
bite down too
fucking break
hard.
my teeth or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and there was some brain on there, and I
Oh.
felt it, and I could
So
taste
she sat
it,
there for
and,
5 or 10 minutes just enjoying the texture of it in her
Oh
mouth.
my god.
So she just gave in and got rid of it.
but I accidentally swallowed it.
Yep. Put it in the tummy train.
Oh,
Uh,
God. So
Not the first time I eat people either.
no.
Colts are cannibals confirmed.
No,
Just Ross.
It's only happened twice.
It only happened twice. Oh,
Look, look,
Oh.
look, look. The first time I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, so there was this guy. What was his name? Tom Riddle?
Tom Pinch.
Was it? Tom Pinch, right?
Yeah.
Tom Pinch. He was brand new
Tom Riddle.
in state, and he was looking to like start up a barber shop. And so we were talking, and I was like, "There's this place, Saint Denis, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Well, thank you. Would you like some stew?" I was like, "Sure, I'll take some stew." Like 6 months, a year later, I found out he was feeding people to people.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I'm
god.
pretty sure I probably ate
Inadvertently
people.
ate somebody's something or
Yeah,
other.
Okay, well, you really didn't know. You really
I
didn't know. How
didn't
could
know.
Yes,
Did
I
it
didn't
taste good,
know.
though?
I honestly did not know.
Did it taste good?
It was
No,
it was really good.
Oh, there it
It
is.
was really good though.
I knew it.
I honestly didn't find that out for at least 6 months, maybe a year later.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, if we ever see pieces of flesh missing from Ethan, we know who did it.
Yeah, and look at the little chewy girl in the corner.
Oh my god.
I feel like the first thing you'd have to worry about, Ethan, is where she puts her mouth.
Yeah, that's not wrong, baby. We need to have an agreement and a cord set up or something.
I ain't
You
gonna
just
bite
need to
off
make sure
nothing.
she's well fed at all times. Really.
I ain't gonna
Well-
bite off nothing I might want to use later.
Well fed and well bred. I agree.
Oh my god. Oh, we've all learned way too much about me tonight.
I love it. I really appreciate you three talking to me.
Of course.
Anytime. What better way to learn about people that you're riding with than to sit down and talk with them and have a conversation with them?
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't happen enough sometimes. Just in general.
Yeah.
Agree.
But I couldn't ask for anything more than for you guys to think about what I said, what I could bring to the table, what I'm willing to work on, all of that. Um, I appreciate you all even letting me come around here. I know you're taking care of Eve and John by association. I'll tack him on there too, of course. I care about him too because I care about Eve. But just thank you for even letting me come around here
Of
and
course.
get to know all of you.
Thanks for yielding your need to pay me back for that gun.
I haven't yielded
I was
shit.
going to say.
All right.
I appreciate that.
The note about stubbornness, I think you need to internalize that a little more.
Nah, it's pretty set in my way.
He's
So,
pretty stubborn as well, yeah.
you
I'm
be
gonna get
honest,
Roz.
Virginia. You be honest with us. We'll treat you to the very best of ourselves. It's the moment when you start being deceiving or doing any of that other shit that goes against that grain, then problems exist and that trust is lost and it is very hard to gain back. That's one thing about us in particular that we do, that we hold on to, and we physically fucking put effort to it every day. There's the only thing that you have in this world is your word, and nothing else matters outside of
Yes.
that.
Yep, absolutely. I could not agree more.
If I started lying to this woman that is my wife, I would not have her in my life anymore.
That being said, I've never known Ethan to ever lie.
I'll even give
Even-
myself up
Yeah.
to keep my word. I'd rather be dead than to be somebody sought after as someone who don't.
I need to be in my thoughts for a minute.
Good
All
luck.
right.
Yeah, thanks.
Virginia, what brought me into this life is growing up with a daddy who ran a gang out of New Austin. And he was a very savage, very cruel, very uncompassionate fellow. And there was one time when I was 11 years old, we had this pretty nice little house out there. I walked out into the living room because I heard some sounds. And I found my mother, who was a full Shoshone Indian. Right, sweet thing, just quiet, humble, had a lot of respect for her own and who she was, and her heritage and everything. And they had her tied up to that kitchen table, bound naked. And for 16 straight days, I bore witness to these people cutting on her, carving on her, laughing, drinking, slapping her, doing all kinds of shit. Just very vulgar, very cruel. All right. And at 11 years old, you know, Wyatt was just a little older than me. We decided we weren't going to be there no more. And we left. And then we scavenged. And we settled around here and there. We go down to Mexico. Come back up. Do some robins. Hit some trains. Hit some banks. Do all of that stuff, right? Just as a way to give us purpose. So we could feel like we were doing something outside of what that was. And that's at that young age is when I realized real quick, seeing the fleeing of my mother's life go from her eyes, is that women are very special people. And it's something that's always resonates with me. And it probably, and I hope it always does. But a lot of that growing up, being witness to such heinous shit over and over and over. I mean, he'd bring people home in the middle of the night and string them up back and shoot them up full of holes, and he wouldn't move the body. He'd leave it there.
Jesus.
And he'd make Mama go out there and take the person down and move them from the property. And she'd do it every time. She wouldn't even say nothing. She was that loyal and that committed to a man that did not deserve her. And that's what eventually caught up with her. It's because that man did not have a good bone in his body. He did not have, his breath was not worthy of the air in which it took. And it's shit
What
like
happened
that.
to him?
One of my childhood friends got a hold of him and killed him. Her name was Callie Crane. And I didn't forgive her for that because she took my vengeance. So that's when I had her sworn to me and to my family. And when Ruby was pregnant, that was who I was married with first, my first wife. The lesser, obviously. But I had Callie sworn to me because of what she had done. And she betrayed that to an extent because that's when she stole a sweet gal.
Doja.
She did. And tried to use her as a bartering tool to get out of our agreement, our court. And the gang killed her for it.
Fuck.
I wasn't in the cult when that happened, when Callie was killed. But I remember that night.
She was actually shot down by a daughter that I adopted. Her name was Judith Colt. Somebody Ruby and I had found in town, and she was trying to score free shit off everybody that she could see because she was just the sweetest and cutest little thing you've ever seen. So Ruby and I, we brought her home and got her fed and took her and got her some clothes and eventually gave her my last name, and she was all mine, She had a boyfriend named Tucker. Fucking Tucker. We took him in too. Made him a son of sort. That boy made some bad decisions in his own, but there was a group of them that they were all friends with, and a lot of that shit got entangled upon one another, and I think I was incarcerated when Judith was killed by a man
Tucker
behind
was
a bar.
killed first.
Yeah, Tucker was killed first because he got cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Poisoned or whatever.
Poison or infection?
I think
I
it
think
was an
infection that got him.
So, buried them. Ruby and I had 3 kids of our own, biological kids. Ivy's my oldest. And Dallas, and who you know here, and River were twins.
Fucking Ivy.
Fucking Ivy.
I miss her every day. But long story short, Ruby
Are
and
they
I
all
had a
gone?
No, they're all around as far as I know. I know Ivy is because Amber's seen her recently, and then I think Dallas saw her too recently. But I don't know where River's at. Ain't seen her in many years now. Probably never will. The biggest thing for me was I wanted them to pick their own path, be their own people. You know what I mean? Do their own thing. I don't need them to grow up and try to, carry on who I was. That ain't fair to them. But, yeah, it's nice having Dallas back here, but Ruby and I had a pact with one another, and that pact was a pretty substantial one. Her and I were really close. It's a very long story, so I won't bore you with it, but she decided she wanted to be unfaithful. And I found out about it. And I took her life as a result of that. because of that pact that we had for one another. And she knew it. She didn't fight it. And I slit her throat and bled her out. And then we go a little bit further down the road. And this Miss Roslyn here. I remember when we brought her into the gang, Ruby and I approached her and pulled her to the side of the gun shop over there in Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it look like she had done fucked up about something, and you could see the worry and concern upon her
Mm-hmm.
face. And that's when we brought her in. We made her a Colt. We brought her into the family. One of the best decisions I've ever had. Yeah.
That's almost exactly 4 years ago. It was
Yeah.
October 1st when you brought me into the Colts.
That's pretty wild, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then
How long have you all been married?
It's a good question. About
you remember the
I
day?
don't remember. It was like January 21st.
Oh, I'm putting you all on the spot. I'm sorry.
I don't
January
remember.
26th.
26. Okay.
Yes, it's been a little while now.
Mhm.
Going on 3 years?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah. Well, going on 3 years. You're right. I'm sorry. 2.5-ish.
But she was unexpected. Like, being in this situation with her was, I don't think, anything that either of us saw, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
But she caught my attention in a very unique kind of way. She's maintained that every fucking day, and every day it grows more and more and more. I never in my life could ever have imagined that I could feel for somebody the way that I do for her. He brought an outlaw a tremendous amount of joy that he never believed that he deserved. Thank you,
Sounds
baby.
like you know what you have.
I could be blind or deaf or dumb or incoherent, and I could still understand the value of her and of her presence in mine. I firmly believe the only reason the sun even comes up is to get a glimpse of her at some point during the day. And she's always been somebody that will tell me what she really thinks about decisions and stuff like that. She's that one person that I know will tell it to me straight, regardless of what I want to hear. And she'll do it with apprehension because she knows how I'll feel about it, but yet she'll still turn my head and make me listen. And that's kept a lot of the decisions that we've had in this group. That's kept a lot of people alive, upright, and healthy. Including my
believe
own.
it. Just in the short time I've been around the group, very short time. I absolutely believe that.
And
Like you
she's
said,
also the
Colt
only
women are
woman.
another breed.
She's the only woman I fear. And I mean that. I never, ever want to disappoint you in a way to make you look differently upon me.
You just be you. That's all you gotta do.
That's what I'm trying. But Virginia, you pay attention to what you see. You got questions, you be sure to ask them. But you can consider this home yours as well.
Thank you. I will keep asking questions. I told Roz I'm a hell of an overthinker, so that was probably also clear by now. Stubbornness and overthinking.
Well, I like to challenge people who have their own thoughts, so be ready for that.
I fucking welcome it.
fellow overthinker.
Mhm.
I'm in good company.
Mhm.
Yes.
I welcome it. Truly. I do. Any discussions, challenges of my own beliefs or
I like
actions
testing
or
folk. It's fun. You really get to the merit of what's worthy to them.
Like when you had me point guns at other Colts.
Hmm Well, that was me.
Ugh.
That was me getting on you a bit because of that trust shit, you know?
I know. I remember.
I didn't like it either, but it needed to be done.
Yeah, Scarlett really didn't like it at all.
Good. Wasn't for her.
She was my girlfriend at the time. And
Oh,
he had me point a gun first at this fellow Jericho who got himself in a kind of way. And I thought I was going to have to kill him. I thought that's what that was going at first. And then he told me to aim my gun at Scarlett and asked if I'd pull the trigger on her. And I said I would. Because, not because I thought she had done something that deserved it, but if Ethan had told me to do something like that, then there was a reason for it. That's the kind of trust I had in him. And the trust I was trying to build back at the time.
I can understand it. I know I keep using that fucking word, but that profound trust, implicit, assumed, once you reach that point, is nearly unbreakable. The most unbreakable kind of trust you can possibly have.
Well, she had done me a little injustice, and she had some atonement to fulfill as a result of that. She rose to that occasion, and she fought like hell for it. Usually when I lose trust in somebody, that relationship goes away with it. But not with her. She fought like hell.
Like I said, the people closest to you will still disappoint you. You can have all the trust in the world. You can have all the, I mean, it's just how it goes in the smallest ways and bigger ways. It's just a part of life. And loving them through that and working through that, like I said, the bond is unbreakable after that. If you can come through that, if you can communicate, it's unfucking shakeable.
Yeah.
If you just put in the work. God, y'all are giving this old goat fucking hope for love. What the fuck are we doing? Jesus Christ.
You never fucking know.
Ugh. Not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. Not these days.
You'll never give up on it. Otherwise, you give it cause to give up upon you.
Oh. I don't want to talk about my love life. See, I said I welcome discussion, and I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it.
You don't have to talk about it.
You're good. Do it when you feel like you want it, not because you have to.
Yeah, we're not gonna hold a gun to your head and tell you to have you tell us.
I will warn you, though, that I can be a little brash on certain occasions about certain things, and I may yell at you, or I may cause you concern, or whatever the fuck it might be. Both of these women, aside from you, I'm sure understand that very well. But
You
I'm
mean
never.
like when I'm legitimately fucking up on something? Or just,
It just depends.
what do you mean?
It's
Basically, yes.
okay.
If you're legitimately fucking up on something, or there's something that has been told to you and you know it's just part of something you should be doing and you get corrected on it, and like it's hard to explain. But
But
yeah, if
yeah,
you're really fucking up, he will fucking confront the shit out of you.
I don't hold my tongue too well unless I feel like I have to. So, I mean, kind of chewed on Amber the other day as well. Rosalind's been chewed on. There ain't a single Colt that ain't been. But
Yeah, I
it
was just about
also
ready to bring up mine.
it also goes two ways, right? If I'm being that asshole, if I'm being that peckerhead, and my shit ain't situated right, I expect you to fucking say something.
All right.
I'm
I respect
confident in
that.
my own, and if I'm fucking up, if I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, then the same shit I'd holler at you about, same shit comes to me too. I ain't any better, I ain't any different. But if we're out there getting work done and I have it in a specific way and I'm leading that shit, you're gonna listen. Because if you don't, shit can go bad or someone can gonna get hurt. But we all
Absolutely.
talk about it. We all talk about it. That's the biggest thing we do. Is just because this is my name and my gang, you know, don't make me the hierarchy associated atop of it.
Well, it does, but it doesn't mean that we can't talk about it. Everybody's thoughts and opinions are valued.
Yep.
I appreciate you recognizing that leadership doesn't make you infallible. As soon as someone starts thinking that shit, just because they're at the top, they can't make mistakes, they can't be challenged, questioned, anything. I mean, I have full confidence at this point that Roz will make sure she is always challenging you or questioning you if you need to be, so to speak. But it's
Mm-hmm.
good to know that you, even if you might not want to hear it, you will try to.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to get people killed. Buried enough of them in my day. But it's different here in how we do things. It's the decisions are thought out and they're weighed and they're measured in a specific kind of way. You know what I mean? Because the last thing I want to do
Mhm.
is dig a hole and put a brother or a sister or a daughter or whatever the fuck in it. I've done that. I've lived those days. I've done those things, and I don't wish to repeat them.
Took way too many graves.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I don't want to be a piece of any of those where it would lead to something like that ever or cause loss or harm or anything. So I know I have fucked up. I will continue to make mistakes in different ways, but I would rather know when I've made a mistake so I can correct it.
Oh, you'll be
Always.
made aware. Don't worry. It's good that we're
And no
having this
matter,
talk.
and also, no matter what decisions you make or anything like that, even if you are the one leading the group at the time, or you would be the one leading the group at the time, and somebody doesn't listen, that's on them. If that gets them shot, killed, or whatever, that's on them. Because if they didn't listen to you, you shouldn't. I mean, it's going to be a weight on your shoulders, but you
Hmm.
can't stop people from not listening.
And if you ever decide that you want to embark on this, another cult will probably shoot you. Right, babe?
Accidentally.
I
Okay.
was gonna
Oh,
say, thank you for that clarification.
Look, okay. We were in Van Horn, okay, and you know how the town folk there can get a little antsy, and I was standing too close to one, and he got mad, and he started shooting,
Oh shit.
and then the rest of the town started shooting. And so we were up on, you know where the telegram office is, that upper deck, you can go up above it, right?
Yeah.
We were up there. Well, me and another guy, Frank and Rose, I think we were all up there. We all stayed up there and we're just shooting, like trying to protect our position. Ethan ran off and I didn't know, and so he had gone across the way and was behind like a fence. And
Oh
so I
god.
see a person out there, so I fucking shot him.
Shot that motherfucker, yeah.
Yeah, and it was Ethan. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure as fuck was.
Sounds like you kind of brought that upon yourself.
So we have a
That's what
saying.
she'd like you to believe, you wicked little fucker.
Truth. That's the truth.
Now's my chance.
I mean, I can't say she ain't a good shot after that because I have
Yeah.
experienced it firsthand. So,
Graced his head.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
damn near killed me.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a saying. Also, you're not a cult until you've been shot by a cult.
Yeah.
Mm,
Usually it's Ethan doing the shooting though.
yeah.
Accidental shooting, mostly.
It's good to know what to expect with
Mhm.
the onboarding process.
Shit happens.
It's unique.
I mean, hell, I have a lot of practicing to do with my firearms. I use them for hunting in the past, but as far as actual gunslinging scenarios, not so much. So I'm sure I'll return the favor at some point.
Yeah, gunfights can be a little interesting. They go pretty quick.
A lot of times they do.
And the other thing is too, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, like even just in like a scenario like this, we've got a lot of pigs around here, and Audrey, I don't think she really uses pork in any of her stews, but if you feel confident in doing something like that, shoot some of the pigs around here. We got a shit ton of them, and if you feel confident in that, take your horse out to the heartlands and just try shooting some of the deer just on the back of your horse. It's a good thing to learn how to control your horse, where your gun swings around and how it swings around. There's even a shooting tree out there too if you don't feel like shooting deer or whatever. Just
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of practice.
Yes, so far it's been lasso and stab, lasso and stab. So
Well, you did only just have the sidearm. Now you have a shotgun, which
Mhm.
I know it's not very good. You know what? Hold on a second.
no, it's all right. It's all right. Stay there. Don't get up.
I have another Lancaster that I'm not going to use. It's not one that I bought. It was one that I was given, and it's not anyone that anybody's looking for. So, and I'm not giving you my special one
Why not?
because
Because Jason gave it to her.
Oh, Jason
Yes.
gave it to her.
Oh my goodness. So tell me about
Oh.
this Jason thing. What is the deal?
Oh boy.
Tell me about it.
Might want to get a chair.
I won't have any
Oh.
ammo to give to you, but
Who
Are
gives
you
somebody
sure?
a gun and doesn't give him fucking ammo for it? What a fucking cunt.
wow.
Oh my god. Oh
Let
my
me make sure I'm
god.
giving you the right one.
Remember what I told you the other day, Amber? What's the difference
What's that?
between can't and cunt?
I don't remember the answer.
You.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
Oh
here.
my god. No, don't get. You made her give me
Ah.
bullets now. You
It's
guilted
fine.
her into
I'll go
giving
in.
me
I'll go into
bullets.
town.
Look, I
go
guilted
into
Roz
town and
into
get
getting her Colt situated,
Yeah, he did.
updated, whatever the fucking word is.
Yeah, because I didn't
on.
want him to pay for it, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Take
ended
it.
up
damn
having
it!
to pay for it anyway.
I can't do anything with 2 gold nuggets, but okay.
Well, that's all I had to
She gave you
give.
2 gold
Okay,
nuggets. That's a hell of a
say it
deal.
out loud.
That's a hell of a deal.
Now
That's the
they-
businesswoman right there, y'all.
Get fucked.
That's funny. That's a good deal.
That's all I had to
No.
give. I got 2 gold nuggets when Eve was showing me how to panhandle back there.
That's funny.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
No,
there
I
might be
think
a
what I'll
future for
do
you
is-
here after all with that mentality.
Are you sure about the rifle? Are you
Yeah.
sure? You really don't need it, or someone else doesn't need it? Audrey, someone?
No, Audrey's got herself
Audrey's
one.
got
I
her
have
one.
another one.
The one Jason gave you?
Mhm,
Yes, what
Jason.
Jason gave me.
Jason. Ooh.
Ooh. That's exciting. Another cult wedding coming up, I'm presuming.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck no! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I
He's
Back
gonna have
that
to
what?
survive some
train
things
up.
first.
What's that?
I said he's gonna have to survive some things first.
Yeah. First off, he's gonna have to survive his old gang, and then he's gonna have to survive Ethan and Roz, and the rest of the family. I mean,
Ooh, if
granted,
this
we've already
works
got
out,
the
I hope I'm a part
blessing,
of the
but
family by
still.
the time. Oh,
But yeah,
well, I'm
that
happy
one
for you.
he originally gave me, and he said he took it from a lawman. So I was just like, I can pass it
Perfect.
down.
Excellent. Even better.
Now, if you want to hold on to that double barrel, that's fine too. Otherwise, just maybe store it on your horse as a backup for when you're riding alone, because not very many people care too much about double barrel shotguns, double shotguns. Damn.
Well, I mean, it kind of is a double shotgun, so
But
Okay.
because that one, the Lancaster is gonna have a lot more bullets, and it's um, I don't know particularly how accurate it can be, but just ride around with the shotgun when you're alone. That way, if
Okay.
anybody does come up to you and robs you or whatever, they just take a shitty old shotgun. Nothing's done to it.
And a lot of times, if I'm riding alone, if I'm not hunting, I won't wear any long arm on my back.
Yeah, I put mine on
That
my
makes
horse too.
sense.
you're such a good Sarah.
Shut the fuck. That's my fake name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, I may need to go into town now, and I'm gonna go get some more ammo.
You might want to wait to find a fucking gunsmith for that shit.
Ah, I have 14 bullets of my repeater because that's all I had was just 18 to give her. So,
Yeah,
ugh,
I would
bummer.
definitely wait
nah,
to go
don't worry
talk
about
to
I
a
it.
only have
gunsmith.
18 rounds right now.
I probably have near that as well.
Yeah, we don't carry a whole lot on us.
But Roz and I, our repeaters hold 26 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yep, they have
Yep.
Evans.
Oh, okay.
I need to get a bolt action. That was the other thing I wanted to do tonight.
Yeah, me
But
too.
You know, it's late.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
there might not be any more gunsmiths awake.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of that being late, I will wrap it up so I can go to bed and you guys can. But
Hey,
It's a good chat. Appreciate it.
yeah,
thank you
it
guys
was.
for talking with me. Thank you. I just wanted to at least say at least the first part of just where my hesitation is, not necessarily in the acts or the righteousness or the, goody two shoes or I can't be a part of this kind of life or anything like that. It's just I've just been desperate to be a part of something when I was younger and rushed into things. And then I just realized they're a bunch of reckless fools. And
Yeah.
then I get drugged down into it. And it just, and not that I think you all are fools by any means. It's just,
I've
I've
had
learned
my
just to not
moments.
jump in. I mean, getting
Yeah.
shot, we're eating people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but don't sweat it. Or easy.
But thank you guys. And I look forward to spending more time with you all.
Will do.
Same.
So I appreciate it. And please, like I said, give some thought to how I could help. And if it's not something that fits within the scope of what the family needs, I would completely understand. I'm not going to shoehorn myself into any situation where it doesn't
Well, we won't
mutually
let you, so
benefit us
don't
or
worry.
fit. Right.
Because we're paying attention to you as well.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely fucking believe that.
Honestly, I think one of the best things you could bring just right now from this conversation is your ability to gather information.
For real.
Just talking to people, being pleasant and whatnot. A lot of people talk about a lot of things. You'll be able to learn a lot of things. Knowledge
Gladly.
is power.
Yes, ma'am. I should have that tattooed on my right ass cheek.
That's never too late.
Number of motherfuckers I blackmailed. into doing the right thing. Oof, knowledge is power. But if there's anything in particular that you would like to know about, absolutely let me know.
Here. This is our brand that we wear as Colts. This is our commitment through pain for the resolve and safety of each other. Everyone here, with the exception of you, wears this on their skin. And we wear these buckles as well. I don't know if you understand what the meaning is behind them.
I don't actually.
So you can see Roz is there, or mine, or Amber standing next to you. So it's silver. Silver's our color. All right. The gold that the inlay of gold around the outside of the buckle, that's the people who stand to serve it, right? And the stars for the name.
I never knew what that meant.
Well, now you do. But this isn't a gang that's just comprised of people with the last name of Colt. Everybody that stands for the name is represented by the name. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And the Colts, throughout its entire life, have always had, ever since I came out this way, has always had more women than men.
True fact.
So if you ever
True
hear me
fact.
say, "Hey, we're outnumbered," look at that. It's just kind of paying homage to how it's always been.
I like that. I like those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good ratio.
I agree.
I think it says something about us as a group too.
Yeah.
A lot of time, boys tend to be hot-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Even this one.
Especially this one. Not so much. Not so much.
I
Not
agree,
anymore,
though.
anyway.
I value doing the smart thing, not just being fueled by anger or retaliation, or vengeance, doing the smart thing. Sometimes those other things are called for, retribution and sweet fucking justice, but if possible, always the smart thing. Always. And
Yep.
I've been around, like I said, too many situations where that was definitely not the fucking case. Just some people, like you were saying when we were in the group earlier, with the, oh, he said something, so now I'm gonna go shoot him. What are you fucking talking about? You know, what, to be so easily threatened and swayed and have people have such a control over your life, they're nothing. It makes me crazy.
Yeah. It's also a learned behavior.
Well, this group doesn't seem that way.
We try.
Mm,
We try to be
There's-
different, but yeah.
There's times. There's times my mouth gets away with me. From me.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
But
I
that's-
believe it. That happens.
When you chewed Dallas's ass out the other day when we were in Saint Denis, and you're like, that's not your decision to make, Dallas. That's Ethan's. This, that, and the other. He came up to me outside of the bank and was like, I don't appreciate how Amber spoke to me. I'm like, then you go fucking have a conversation with her. What the fuck you bothering me about it for? If I need to get fucking involved, you ain't gonna like it. So
Yeah, we were just outside of St. Denis.
that's just one of those little tidbits that Miss Amber does very well is, or when she says, blah, 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 Ethan.
You
Look,
do that. You do that.
I know. And that day, I don't know why I was, making sure that. I don't know why I said his name. No idea. It just came out, and I just didn't even think about it until he mentioned it. And I actually had to sit back for a second. I was like, why the fuck did I even say his name in the first place?
You did it
'Cause you-
again the other day.
Yeah, you do it.
I
You
don't-
do it a lot
yeah.
because you're a bitch.
Damn.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
Damn.
that's a term of endearment, don't you know?
Wow.
He calls me bitch all the time.
Yeah,
Or says I'm being a bitch.
yeah.
Well, I just, that day with Dallas, I think the only reason why I kind of said that to him was because you were initially leading us to Saint Denis. And then when I said, yeah, the road to Saint Denis is off to our left. And then when Dallas put his map away, he looks at me and says, then go ahead and lead us away. And I'm like, that's not your decision to make. But I just, no, I don't know. It didn't, it rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, you both got under each other's skin with that stupid shit, but it is what it is, right? It's not the end of the fucking world.
Nah.
Hopefully you two talked about it and squashed it so it doesn't need to be a fucking fire later on down the road.
I did. We were,
Alright.
when Audrey was, we were around here. We were around the campfire, and, you were, having Audrey pull out her sidearm and, just kind of
Yeah.
taking mental pictures. I stood next to Dallas and I said, "Hey, I
I was
didn't
making
mean
sure her
anything."
form was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But I stood next to Dallas and I said, "Hey, I didn't mean to sound brash or anything like that." And I explained to him what I meant, and he's like, "Oh no, it's all right. I
All right,
understood."
good. I'm fucking very happy to hear that. That is a big change over you in the past. It's a good work.
Yeah, but I have to know that people have an issue with me first for me to talk to them.
Yeah.
They can't just be,
Well, you took it upon yourself to settle that situation, and that's big. So, good work.
yeah. Thank you.
How hard is it for you to say thank you?
I just did.
I know, but did that pull on something?
Sounds like pulling teeth sometimes.
Yeah. You
I
get so
have-
Virginia.
Take
Just to give you some
appreciation.
context here, you talk to this woman and you tell her good shit, right, about herself or whatever. She'll find some way to move the topic to a different topic, or just kind of scoff it away, or just kind of bury it internally within her own. But lately though, she's been doing pretty good.
Wow,
Yeah.
very nice. What do you do when your boo compliments you? Is it the same thing?
Oh yeah, let's hear that. Really?
Probably turns all red and goes, okay,
No, actually,
Just
it
kidding.
is the same way. I always. All right, here we go. I'm a perfectionist. For the most part, I try to be. Oh, stop.
That's funny.
But I try to put myself to a higher standard and than what people expect, I guess. And when people compliment me, I feel like I'm not still doing well enough. I feel like I could still learn something or do better next time. I push myself too hard at times. And when somebody like Roz, Ethan, Dallas, even Jason gives me a compliment, I it's not that I brush it off. I don't brush it off. I do take into account that they did give me that compliment. It's still just so hard for me to take it because I hold myself to such a high standard. I hope that all makes sense.
Yeah.
It does. It sounds like you acknowledge that it's a compliment, but it's a of your current state. You're transient, you're improving. It's not just an is, it's what's going to be for you as well.
Yep. And each compliment I take is helps a lot. And I'm not a very prideful person. I'm a very humble person. So when I have been taking care to acknowledge compliments, like just now, I said thank you. It's just a transition right now.
I said it one time.
There's not a lot of glory to be bestowed upon others in this way of life, so it's a very intentional thing to give credit where it is due.
I've noticed you do that a lot.
I try. It's important that people know. Over the years, it's very important that people know where they stand with me, because there's been a lot of times where I think that was probably called into question, more so than not.
Hmm.
Because I can be pretty rough with folk.
Like he was saying earlier, when he would, kind of lay into myself or lay into Roz, or if he were to do it to you, it's just his way of saying, hey, I still appreciate you even though this happened.
Yeah.
It's situation dependent. But mainly, yeah. It's coming from a good place. It might not sound great, but I don't like
Ethan don't mince words. He tells it straight every time.
I owe it to y'all.
We owe it to you too.
Agreed.
It's nice to see that open communication, even if it is, as you said, maybe harsh sometimes, but it comes from the right place, from both ends.
Well, we owe it to each other to be that person, calm or otherwise. We owe it to each other to know where we stand with each other and to help squash bullshit. Because I'm telling you, you don't squash bullshit, that shit builds up into a bonfire over time.
Sure does.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then you say things you can't fucking take back, or you act in a way that you can't get back. Then that changes the relationship, alters the dynamic of what this is. One bad apple poisons a whole fucking tree over time.
Yeah. Agreed. Sorry, I thought I heard horses just now. Did anyone else, or was that just
I
my...
did not.
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Too focused looking over my shoulder at this gigantic fucking owl flying into the water.
I thought, yes. I keep
Never
running into the fucking...
feel that you're alone. One of my big things too is never make your enemy. Don't ever dumb them down to the point where you belittle them. Always think that they are smarter, more adaptive, and more equipped than you, so you don't sacrifice yourself when you go to present yourself in a situation against them.
I could not agree
Very
more.
bad habit.
Like I said, overthinker. That comes with being way too fucking overprepared.
I know one of them.
Probably know a lot more than one of them.
Yep.
Sometimes overthinking, though, can get you into, I wouldn't say trouble, but it can make you think of scenarios that may not happen and tense you up even more. That's one thing I've definitely learned with these two as well. They both have, I've been notorious in the past for being an overthinker. And since I've been with these guys for the last 3 years, it, I have to catch myself and tell myself to stop looking at all the different ways that something could possibly go wrong and or go right. Most times I look at how things go wrong and I tense myself up for those situations. And these guys have helped me more than they know. A lot more than I could ever say to their faces. Words just sometimes are not enough.
Like I said, Amber, you chose us. You chose to be here. You put yourself on that path to be a part of our family and our plan and moving our lives forward. None of this would have been even possible or relevant if you weren't here to help orchestrate it and keep people safe.
We love you.
I love you guys too. So much.
I know. We're here for you. And I know you know that. I just wanted to put it out loud.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
That's another thing I have to learn to stop doing too.
What, wiping your eyes?
Apologizing for everything.
Apologizing.
Yeah, you do. There's a time and a place for an apology. If you say it over shit that don't matter, then it makes it less genuine. And I know you ain't about that. Don't forget how fierce you are, not because of the color of your hair, but just what embodies you and the person you've grown to adapt that behavior and that skill. It's very unique. I hope you never fucking forget that. That'd be a goddamn shame if you did. Then we'd have to remind you again.
I hope that day never comes either.
Never know. Never take the day you're leaving for granted.
Well, the only way I'm going to be going out of this life is with you guys.
Long time from now.
And Jason.
He still has to survive everything, but I'm hoping he will.
Time will tell.
Yep.
But it is really late, and I think every single one of you need to turn in and get the fucking bed.
Yeah.
Same
Well,
with you,
I'm-
mister.
Here to help
Yes,
however I
ma'am.
can, Amber, with all of that, by the way. However I can.
I appreciate it, and I'll try to do the same. We'll try to keep our overthinking into a little bit of a jar, I guess.
Right, exactly. We can just huddle, overthink, like have 5 minutes of overthinking per day, and then that's all the overthinking that we get every day. That's it. Like, what did you think about? I thought about these things. I have a list. Okay, great.
Oh, my lord.
He's like, that's it. She's not joining the cult. She needs to stay the fuck away from all this. All right. Thank you guys so much again.
Of course.
You're welcome.
And hoping to be around quite a bit more. So
Hope so too.
We hope that. Yep.
I'll leave you guys to it. Have a good night. Sleep well. Thanks again.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay upright and healthy, will you?
Do my best.
You all right?
How you feeling, Ethan? You're feeling okay with your
Yeah, I'm
whole...
fine. I'm good.
Okay.
Hurts, but it's to be expected.
Well, I can't give you anything for that, unfortunately.
Wife didn't take one, and she got shot up worse than I did, so I think I'll be all right.
Okay. Thank you again.
Of course. Your profound quality. Don't you dare forget that.
I haven't.
We won't let you anyway.
Nope.
Good
Sure
night,
shit
guys.
will. Good night.
Good night, Amber.
Sleep well.
You guys too when you get there.
Soon. Well,
It was a good conversation.
it was.
I like where Virginia's coming from.
I did too. She was honest.
Mm-hmm. She's a lot like me, only she has courage to ask the questions that sometimes I don't like to ask.
Yeah.
Make myself look dumb.
Oh, I don't think you ever have to worry about that. I don't think that's something you're able to do. So,
Yeah.
me on the other hand, let's just leave that one.
See, you can look dumb, but you do it with such confidence that nobody cares.
Yeah. I can be a little overconfident for sure.
Yes, you can. Not in a bad way, though. But honestly, I think Virginia could fit in very well
I did too.
if she so chooses, and just her ability to go out there and talk to people and just have spur of the moment conversations. And
Gain information.
even if she did it under the guise of being some kind of reporter, she can get a lot of information.
You goddamn right she could.
Yeah.
That could be invaluable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why when you guys were in there, she was kind of just standing there, so I stayed out here with
I
her.
figured that's what you were doing. Amber was
And,
asking me, how come Roz is not in here? I'm like, I don't know. But I kind of figured that's why you were right here talking with her.
Yep. It was a good chance
like
to
that.
talk with her.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Find
did.
out. Yep, me too.
You're smart.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Yeah, many of them. Crazy day, huh?
Mm-hmm. A good day, though, overall.
Yeah.
Outside of you getting shot by one of them goddamn assholes.
Yeah.
I could do without that part.
Well, you know, you and I, we've both been shot so far. Nobody else has, so
Yeah, so far.
I don't want to hear nobody bitch when they do. We're over here taking bullets, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Leading the charge, per se.
that's right.
All right. You, my dear, need to go to bed, so come on.
Yeah, fucking late.
Super fucking late.